Hey guys, it's Shelby, otherwise known as Shelbizleee on YouTube, and today I wanted to come and introduce a new series that I'm going to do on my channel, and it's going to be about the worst relationship I think anyone my age has ever had. I was in a really bad, abusive, traumatic, controlling relationship from the time I was in 5th grade till my junior year in high school. It started out great and it ended really, really bad. So the reason I want to do this and the reason I'm going to do this series is because I think I can give a lot of advice to younger girls who find themselves in the situation that I was in. If they can start to recognize patterns and character traits and things like that when they're in a relationship that is inevitably dangerous and hurtful. I also unfortunately think that this relationship played a huge role in who I am and what I've struggled with my whole adult life and honestly my life ever since 5th grade. So this series will be in I think 7 to 10 parts. I've kind of done an outline so far. I'm not sure how many it'll take, but at least 7. It'll take at least 7 to tell the whole 5-year relationship, and I'll actually probably do Tuesday because I already have Wednesday, Friday videos and nothing like in the beginning of the week. So every Tuesday I'll release a new story, a time kind of, or advice section of the problems I went through in this relationship and what young girls like myself need to watch out for. So for the intro to this, I want to say that honestly this relationship started off completely harmless and completely perfect, honestly. I don't really know how else to describe it. So let's just say first mistake is don't start dating in 5th grade. I mean, it seems pretty obvious, but for some reason in as young as 5th grade and even younger, you start to develop an interest in people. And as many of you know, I'm no longer straight per se. I guess you could say I'm bi, but honestly the people that I dated were more because they pursued me and I never pursued them. So, like I said in my, what video was it? My coming out video, I was very unaware of myself and like my feelings and stuff like that until I was in college. So yeah, first piece of advice, don't date in 5th grade. My parents played a big role in this, honestly, because at 5th grade, what knowledge do you have to know not to do something? And my parents, they didn't let me date in 5th grade, but they knew I had a boyfriend, which, that's fine. If you have a boyfriend and you see him in class, that's fine. But I just think that maybe they should have monitored me more. They should have been paying more attention to what was happening with me. So honestly, in 5th grade, nothing bad happened. But he was super sweet to me. And we started saying I love you super quick as well. Like, he was always super nice to me, hugging me, holding my hand, touching my knee. All these things, which is like 5th grade. What? Now looking back at it, but at the time I was like, he was so sweet and so nice, and he would call me beautiful, he would write me these love notes and all these things, and so it seemed perfect. And I think that most stories that I have heard of people who end up in an abusive relationship, they start off really fast and they start off really good and they suck you in really quickly. So 5th grade goes by and we're not dating outside of like school. Dating, whatever you want to call it. We're not seeing each other outside of school. But what's really interesting about it is in 5th grade, this guy started talking to me about sex, okay? Now maybe it's okay to have an in-school boyfriend at 5th grade and maybe it's okay to like people at 5th grade. It's not okay to start talking about having sex in 5th grade, in my opinion. So, we never kissed in 5th grade, we never had sex in 5th grade, but we were talking about it. And none of the controlling tendencies really started in 5th grade. The only thing that happened in 5th grade, which was pretty substantial and should have set off a red flag for everyone, and this intro video is going to be pretty short because the bad stuff started happening starting in 6th grade. But the only bad thing that really happened in 5th grade was he used to call my house. This is back before cell phones, before we had cell phones, right? So he would call my house phone and of course my parents would answer. And one time I was in trouble and my dad wouldn't let him talk to me on the phone. So my dad was like, hey, like you can't talk to her right now. You're gonna have to like just call back tomorrow or something when she's not in trouble. And this is his controlling self starting to come out. I'm not gonna name him for this series. I might have to in the future, but for right now, he's not going to have a name. I'm definitely not going to release his name because I don't want anyone to find him. I don't want him to find it or anybody. I still talk to some of his family, so I don't want any of that to get messy. Anyway, so my dad tells him, like, you can't talk to her, and he just tells my dad, no, I need to talk to her now. This was his controlling tendencies coming out, like I said. If he wasn't able to get a hold of me and know what I was doing, that was a problem for him. So when my dad told him he couldn't talk to me, he got really mad and was like arguing with my dad, and my dad was like, dude, I'm not gonna give her the phone. So he decided, this 5th grade boy decided he would tell my dad fuck you, and hang up on him, which is great, right? Great. That's a great way to start a relationship off with my parents, whom you haven't met yet. If you really want to date me, maybe don't do that. And tell me why I dated this guy for 4 years after that. I hope that if anybody who is watching this has children, maybe you start to pick up on... You don't want to be an over-controlling parent. You don't want to be an overprotective parent. But if someone is disrespectful enough to you at fifth grade age to do something like that, you don't want your kids dating them. Hey guys, I just wanted to clarify. It's not that my parents wanted me to date him or let me date him. Of course they were mad about what happened, but it was only temporary. And as time went on, things got worse and worse and worse, and they never took the initiative, never took a stance as parents to be sure that my emotions were protected. There was never a conversation about, hey, you're going through this. This could happen to you. There was never any sort of explanation, understanding that I think parents really need to have for their children. It could have prevented a lot of pain and a lot of terrible things that happened to me throughout the few years that this relationship persisted. So, yeah, I just wanted to clarify that. Especially if they don't come back themselves and apologize for it and just be like, I'm so sorry, it was in the moment, I was heated. Especially if that doesn't happen, which it never did for me. Maybe you need to make sure your kid is not interacting with this type of person. And only time in this series will tell you that that is unbelievably true. So that's it for this video. Like I said, stay tuned to this series. It gets really dramatic and really bad, and like I said, has a serious impact on who I am and the things I struggle with. And I just think that I've got a decent base of people here now who are interested in hearing about me and things I've been through. And this is something that I really feel like I can give advice to people, young girls who may end up going through something like this. This is one of the main reasons I started my YouTube channel, because I feel like I really have come so far from where I was, and I really want to talk about that. So, if you're interested in this series, stay tuned. It'll be released every Tuesday until the story is done. At least 7 weeks, maybe longer. And that's all I have for this video. Until next time, create the peace. When/where did we meet?
April 2014.
No! Where was our first date?
First date?
What eye color do you wish I had? What am I good at?
Good at everything. Is that a trick question? What aren't you good at?
That's the next one.
You're not good at communicating.
That's your problem, not mine. What is your boyfriend/girlfriend's most used cuss word? 1, 2, 3. Also, follow me on Twitter and Instagram.